Hey everybody, we're going to get to your free pick in a minute here, but before we do that, don't forget like, share, subscribe, drop in the comment section how you feel about this video, and also, if you're new customers to DocSports, head over to DocSports.com/free60. That's where you get a free $60 account. If you're new to Docs, there's a link in the description of the video. It's easy peasy. Sign up, free $60 account. Good luck unless you're against us. Here's your free NFL play.
There's something to it that maybe that might be worth a little sprinkle, maybe $100 on the Jets at 14-1 there.
No, I mean, yeah, you could, but there's better value if you're going to sprinkle something else on the Jets. Their total season wins 5.5, the over is -160. Well, sprinkle 6.5 at plus money if you're going to do that. I just don't see that. I think there's two teams. I think they're going to be competing with Miami for the gutter of the division. I'm not sold on Miami at all, even though we're going to talk about Miami in a short while. Tua's not been the answer. The whole coaching staff has not been the answer. I thought the trades that the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple of weeks ago scratches my head for both teams. So I think if we're going to see something change, I think the Jets could leapfrog Miami and maybe not get the gutter spot, and maybe the Dolphins are in the gutter.
Okay, well, again, you brought up Miami, so let's stay there. Last year at this time, they were plus 210. So last year at this time, we had a relatively tight three-team race based on the odds. Plus 160 for the Jets, plus 195 for the Bills, who obviously ended up winning it going away, and plus 210 for the Dolphins. So they were plus 210 last year, plus 700 this year. When you look at their roster, again, there's a lot of drama in their locker room. A lot of stuff has come out about players being late for meetings, even after they were fined. They looked like a team that quit in certain games last year. I remember the Monday Night Football game against the Tennessee Titans. That was a completely pathetic effort. However, as bad as they were dealing with Tua injury issues again, dealing with a lot of injury issues across the board, dealing with some drama, they still won 8 games last year. They were 8-9. Okay, where New England was 4-13, the Jets were 5-12. They were off the rails. It was kind of those everything that could have went wrong for Miami. And they were still kind of right around 500. So again, them this year at almost quadruple the value of where they were last year still can't entice you here?
No, not at all. Even if Buffalo has injuries, I'd rather put my money on New England.
Okay, the Patriots are plus 500. Again, last year at this time, plus 2,600. That's how much everything has changed for the Patriots. Now, the Patriots are the buzz team in the AFC East and kind of in the NFL, frankly. They changed head coaches. Obviously, Gerard Mayo was in way over his head. And you never want to be the guy that takes over for the guy, right? Like, that's an unenviable position as he was taking over for Bill Belichick, one of the greats of all time. But bring in Mike Vrabel, whose teams always seem to overachieve in Tennessee. They spent a lot more money in free agency, which is not new for New England. They have done that with varying degrees of success over the last 6 or 7 years. Most of it relatively unsuccessful spending. And a few other numbers that are pointing towards an upward trajectory for the Patriots. Raphael, do you think that the Patriots are getting a little bit overvalued, overinflated, overrated? Or are you kind of buying into this New England hype?
Buying in because I think Vrabel's a head players coach. I think the players are excited that he's there. I think they're going to play harder for him. And you said it. They got a lot of great free agents that they picked up. And I thought they did really well in the draft. It shocks me that the total season wins open up at 7.5, -130. And it's up to like -175. I think most books will probably move it to a solid 8 or adjust it the way you want. And adjust their lines. But no, I'm sold on this New England Patriots team. Now, are they going to win the division and make a playoff run? No, but I think they're going to be a lot improved, which that could help next year because there's some really good free agents that can want to go to New England next year.
Mike Vrabel, his last 2 years in Tennessee, he went 7-10 and 6-11. Okay, they had the 2 double-digit winning years in 2020, which was a COVID year. And 2021, of course, 2019, they make it to the AFC Championship game. But a lot of that was on the back of Derrick Henry, who's just an absolute mutant animal. Are we kind of overvaluing Mike Vrabel as a head coach? I believe he's 54-45 in his career as a head coach. As I mentioned, he coached for 6 years, made the playoffs 3 of those years. everyone's just kind of assuming that because he's in there, he's going to instantly turn everything around. Are we jumping the gun on Vrabel a little bit?
No, because look at the team he played. He had a coach within Tennessee the last couple of years. They were garbage. So now he's got a lot of new shiny toys. He's got a nice young QB. Yes, he doesn't have a powerful running back like he did in Tennessee, but no. Now, if he flops here, then yes, I'm putting the big overrated sign above his head or underneath his name. But right now, I'm excited to see what New England does.
Now, Buffalo's the favorite, again, because they've won it 5 straight times and because they have by far the best quarterback and the best quarterback coach combination. However, there are some troubling numbers that might point to some regression. You know, the Buffalo Bills only allowed 6 sacks last year. That is unbelievable when you think about it, that they only surrendered 6 sacks as a team. And they were plus 24 in turnover differential, which is clearly an unsustainable number. Do you worry about the Bills, who went 13-4 last year? Their win total is set at 11.5. Do you worry about them taking a little bit of a step back this year? And if so, do you think that might open the door for one of these teams to maybe, I think we're both in agreement that Buffalo is an overwhelming favorite for good reason. And it would be shocking if they didn't win this division. However, do you feel like they could take a step back and maybe one of these teams could make it at least a horse race?
I just don't see that happening. Maybe New England, but unless there's an injury, that's the only thing I can say. A quarterback that's just coming off probably a long honeymoon just all summer that can maybe mess up a game. But that's the only thing I can see happen if there's an injury. There's a reason why their total season wins 11.5. There's a reason why the bettors are betting it. I think they win the division pretty easily.